My name is Nick Higgins. I'm from the Brooklyn Public Library. I'm here interviewing Richard
J. Mallin Jr.
Richard J. Mallin Jr. In his home in Brooklyn. Today's date is April 12th, 2014.
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock in the morning, and it's a sunny day. Spring is finally here, and Mr. Urban was enlisted in the Navy during World War II. Petty officer, third class, and served on the USS Urban.
That is right.
And thank you, Mr. Mallin. So I guess maybe we can just start by just telling me where you're from, where you grew up. Maybe that would be a good start for the recording.
Well, I started in Brooklyn, Canarsie, dirt road. I was 16 pounds. I think you don't know that. I don't run in Canarsie. What else can I say about Canarsie? Oh, we had no electric till I was 8 years old. My first electricity. We had radio by battery radio.
And that you got electricity when you were 8?
8 years old.
And you were born in 1920. July 24th, 1920?
Yeah.
Okay. And you didn't have electricity until you were 8 years old.
No electricity. And what else? I know a refrigerator. We had to buy ice and chop ice up and put it in an ice box. No refrigerators in those days.
Well, how did Brooklyn look back then? Was it
dirt roads? All dirt roads. They were laid down with tar and water to keep dust from flying around. And if you know Canarsie, Flatlands Avenue was the first road paved.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Canarsie was the last village to be fixed up. Brooklyn was fixed up. Fulton Street, everything was fixed up except for Canarsie. That was the last place that anybody ever thought of fixing up. That's why it was so backwards.
It's like a farm area. I belong to the Canarsie Post.
Area and farming area.
Huh. So it was still like a village back then.
That's right, a farm, more or less, yeah. I played baseball in any four corners of Canarsie. That's how vacant it was.
What position? I'm just curiosity. What position did you play?
Outfield.
Outfield. Yeah. Great. So, did you have any family members who were also in the service?
My brother was in. He went to Seabees. He joined my brother's Seabees.
And what made you want to enlist?
Because Army wanted me. I didn't want to fight infantry. I figured I'd rather go aboard a ship. So I had to go to Whitehall Street. They told me I needed teeth fixed. I had to go to the dentist and get 6 cavities fixed. Then they'd take me in. After I got my 6 cavities, I went to Whitehall Street. Then I went to Minneapolis. I went to Great Lakes. Mm-hmm. I spent 6 weeks at Great Lakes. I'll go along with that. 6 weeks. Then I came home for 15 days. Then I went back. They sent me to University of Minnesota. I could have went to the West Coast, but I wanted the nearer one, which would have been Minnesota. You know what I mean? Because I lived here. Mm-hmm. So I went to Minnesota because I was a machinist before the war for 10 years, about 2 years. They sent me to machinist school. Then that's where I met my wife. I told you she was dancing. Oh, this is cute. She was dancing with a girlfriend at a unit at the USO, as a Protestant one. I walk in, my buddy and I, to walk into what's happening, and I find out they got cigarettes all around inside, but no matches. So I went up to her. The first thing I asked her, "Where's the matches? You give us cigarettes around here." Oh, and I looked at her face and I fell in love with her. I took her out. She wasn't supposed to go out. She was breaking the law at the church. They said nobody's going to go out with servicemen. She broke the law to go out with me.
You must have been some catch.
This is me here. This is me.
Okay, so this is a photograph of you and your wife.
Yeah, I got married. But is that something? I fell in love with her. I carried her face with me, which is that same picture over there. Every day I get lonesome out. You know, Pacific Ocean is black as hell at night. You can't see a thing in front of you. And all you see is water, water, water. I went to New Zealand for my first glass of fresh milk, maybe in months and months without drinking dehydrated milk, powder milk. And that's when I went to New Zealand. I got into New Zealand once. Then I went to New Guinea for church one time. After we got from the Japs, we had mass every Sunday when we go. And I tell you one thing, I was a good Catholic. If I could make mass, I'd say mass by myself, because we had a Protestant aboard our ship. And I went to some carriers, heavy carriers, like, I forget the name of them now, aboard the carrier to have mass. I went to New Guinea to have mass, just to take me on a wheelboat. Oh, by the way, these ships we had no life preservers on them.
No life preservers on the,
and no boats to get out.
And
they must expect you not to come back anymore.
And this is on the USS Urban. There was no life.
And on the other ship after I got married, I went on the heavy cruiser. They didn't have any either. I stayed 6 months with that. No life preservers. Isn't that something you know? I couldn't believe this about 5 years ago, and I realized that with all these ships sinking now, and another one is in coast coming in now, sick people. And now on the East Coast. And yesterday was one on the West Coast. These cruiser ships.
Well, let's go back to Great Lakes.
Great
talk about
Great Lakes. Then Great Lakes, they sent me home. 6 weeks, I think. It wasn't long. Then they sent me to Bath, Maine, where they built the ship. The Urban was built in Bath, Maine.
Okay.
In 1943. It was a brand new ship.
And during your basic training, right? Did you
basic training?
Could you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I was in boot camp. They made you sleep in hammocks, which is very hard to do. You had to learn to wash your own clothes. That's what happens when you're boot camp for 6 weeks.
And you didn't know how to wash your clothes prior to that?
No, my mother took care of me.
Yeah.
Then I got married, she took care of me. And now I got my daughter. Very lucky fella.
And was it difficult for you? Boot camp? Was it?
No, well, yes, it was. You know, when you're a young guy, I never had that washing clothes. My mother and father lived with me, and what else? I lived in Kennesaw, and I didn't want part of it. I'm got to relax my mind now.
Sure.
But the ships I was on, I seen my battles on fighting the destroyer. But when I got back, I got married in February of 1945. By the way, before I got back, my ship, the biggest battle I was in, I just missed it. It was a Bella Lady Gulf. That's where the biggest battle was. Well, here's some of the pictures of boot camps where I was. This is Great Lakes. Here I am way up in the corner here. See up here?
Okay, sure. So this is a picture of all the
those at the and this is another one. This is another one. This might be the boot camp. One was at Minnesota. One of these was Minnesota.
Well, that looks like there's snow on the ground. So that must have been Minnesota.
No. I was standing in snow and had a picture outside taken in December of '42.
Oh no, you got everybody's name on.
Yeah, I got everybody's name on it. Wait, one's 42, one's 43. Yeah,
Great Lakes.
Yeah. That's the picture here. And the Leyte Gulf. Leyte Gulf was where the big battle came in. I missed it by 1 day. The MacArthur, you write this down. MacArthur, I was there when MacArthur landed in the Philippine Islands. He landed approximately October 24th, 1944. You see, you're changing time so much over there. You know, every time you go a different section, a day in the time changes. I may be off a day or two. You went there, the biggest battleship came in. They had, the Japanese, an 18-inch heavy battleship, 18-inch guns. Our battleships had only 16-inch guns. So but they only had one ship that could outfire us. But we had to get the hell. A lot of small ships had to get the hell away from that ship because it'd blow them out the water.
And how big was the how big was your ship?
Small. That's a small ship, destroyer. It's called a tin can. Their job is to go around battleships, aircraft carriers, to take a torpedo in case it's headed for them shipping, you had to go in, intercede. So we take it, lose 300 men instead of losing 5,000. We interceded, going around a ship, going around the bigger ships. That's to protect them from the Japanese torpedoes.
So
so
the torpedo would go at the smaller
the smaller ship would kill us 300, which is me. And they say, how would I rather die? The people, they would say, I'm brave, I'm down below. I say, they're brave, yeah, above. I want to die with the steam. We had steam of 800 degrees superheat. The steam would disintegrate you right away. I'd rather die with a torpedo than be shot and go around with barracuda and sharks. We had sharks around that water. green eels. How horrible. Oh, by the way, the reason we come back to Royal Hawaiian Hotel, I spent the whole day before going at the Royal Hawaiian Hotel. Then Waikiki Beach is all full of shells. I couldn't go swimming there. That's right behind the Royal Hawaiian Hotel. Then when I got back, I went there again. But the reason we came back was the LSTs landed MacArthur October 24. Mm-hmm. We had to take LSTs back to Enewetak because they were empty now. So they picked the Flagship, which I was on, to escort, to pull them along to Enewetak. Then after that, I found out we were coming back to. After that, the landing crafts, landing craft off. I went back to Pearl Harbor again, the Royal Hawaiian Hotel. In the meantime, after I left the Royal Hawaiian Hotel at the end of 44, we had a party aboard ship because the captain says we get there. It's gonna be too late to have a party. When we get there, because we got there in about January, around it. So we had a party aboard ship at the end of 44. Mm-hmm. Then when I get to Pearl Harbor, when I came in, we came in Mariana Island, in California. That's right next to San Francisco. That's when you go up the hill. Mariana Island is down below where the ship docked. Then they have women throwing the ropes out. It was hard to see that. Women throwing the ropes out to attach you to the mainland.
Right.
Mariana Island was a little island.
You left that day, but how many ships were destroyed during that battle? That you
I got that. I got that here in that one book here.
Yeah, a lot of ships were destroyed.
Oh, and another thing about that Mariana Island, they have movies open 24 hours a day. I'll never forget that.
It must have been great for you having not seen a movie.
All excitement.
Yeah. Sure. Let's go back to the battle, and I imagine it would be.
You want to talk about the battle?
Oh, yeah. This is the big one, the Leyte Gulf. Yeah. See, these are the ships around. They don't show you our ship. We were around the Enterprise. That's another big ship.
So your ship was much smaller.
Yeah, it's a baby ship.
And
after that, then I came out to go back with the ship. I had a choice to stay with the ship or getting off. I had a choice. I didn't want to stay. I'm going to get home and get married. Meet my girlfriend at that time, and I did. I come home and I spent a whole month home. I got married. Then I went to Rhode Island, pre-training school in Providence, Newport, what was that? Newport, Rhode Island. Newport, that's it. Yeah. Newport, Rhode Island. And I found out all the big shot commissioner officers, they all get trained at Rhode Island. I didn't know it at the time. But we went there and I was pre-trained for a heavy cruiser. They put me on a heavy cruiser. That was a big ship with about 4,000 men on it.
And that was around 1944?
That was the end of, I went on there about September. They called me about September, October, November. About August. About the last 3 or 4 months I spent on there.
Okay.
I seen action. We went out on a shakedown. Oh, by the way, shakedown cruise. I went on a shakedown cruise.
What is that? A shakedown?
When a ship goes out, they test it out with speeds and everything.
Okay.
The first ship I had, I forgot to tell you. The first ship I went out with, went to Bermuda, and we had to dive off the front of the ship into a bunch of what do you call those jellyfish? I mean, that didn't scare me. They had to jump. You had to walk a hang plank and jump out. I didn't mind because I had to go to the pool, St. George pool down there, and dive. I didn't know how to swim. I could swim. I couldn't tread water.
Yeah.
And here I'm walking out on a ship, and how deep the water looks. I was scared.
In Bermuda, you
Yeah, I was scared as hell. I could have walked away. I couldn't because other guys were doing it. A man before me did. A man after me. I'd be shaking it if I didn't do it. I was scared. Looking down, diving board is low.
Right.
But when I see in this, you can't jump in. You got to jump in head body first, because in case the fire aboard the water, you don't burn your face.
So this is all training, right? So just in case, in
case the water goes on fire, fire burns on the water. So in case the water's on fire, you want to jump in the fire head first. They show you how you jump in body. Then when you get up, you push the water away.
Wow.
Then later on, when I went with the other ship, I went to Bermuda. That was a little closer.
Mm-hmm.
On the heavy cruise, I went to Bermuda.
Yeah, but you slept on the top of the ship, right?
Oh yeah, on the destroyer, I used to sleep. I told you, on the torpedo tubes. I told them that out there.
So yeah, just repeat the.
I used to sleep under the torpedo tubes. It was so hot. By the equator, we had no air conditioning. We had blowers to keep us cool, and we blew hot air.
Now, how many of you guys were down in that area? Was it just?
The whole squadron.
Yeah.
All the squadron. I'm down below. I don't see much going on. Only when the general quarters, we all got to. Like general quarters. There's your sleep floor, you wake floor, and you sleep floor. General quarters. You're going on a battle. Everybody's turning to, managing their guns. That's what general quarters mean. Everybody's manning their guns, ready to battle. And you used to get up at 4:30 in the morning every day, whether you liked it or not. The general quarters was the morning, waking up. Every morning they woke up at 4:30 in the morning,
4:30.
whether you like it or not.
And how long were you able to sleep? I mean, they give you a
4 hours. We slept a little longer when it wasn't the general quarters.
Yeah.
But one time I was up on top side. It don't rain very often down in the weather. One day it rained. While I was up at top side, I got my shoes full of water. I had to go down and sleep down below. Anyhow, I usually pull a blanket over my head, a steel deck, I usually sleep on a steel deck because it's rather that than in a hot bed and you can't sleep. So I slept aboard side. One night it rained. Because usually the captain during the day, he sees the cloud coming, he steers the ship away from the cloud. Otherwise, they got to get the guns wet. They don't want the cannons in there getting water in them.
Yeah.
So they either steer it away or they cover the mounds. But this happened to be at nighttime when it rained. There was so much water in my shoe, I had to dump it out. First time in my life, I had to dump my shoe out and go down below. The shoe was full of water.
So it was better to sleep underneath
at that time. But that was only once.
You ate very well.
Oh yeah, talk about the food. Talk about.
We have all the dehydrated foods, and we had our hatch right below where they make bread. We used to smell the bread all the time.
Where's your menu here?
And we smelled the bread every day, and you had to go down. You had to close the hatch. No smoking lights at night, and all dehydrated. Oh, I even got my menu here. I got a menu here.
Oh, sure. Let's read some of that off and see.
Holiday menu.
This is the holiday menu. Okay. Yeah. So you got September.
You bring it in front of your more, you see.
Oh, okay. Great. So you got menu for the holiday dinner: cream of tomato soup, graham crackers, green olives, celery stalks, sweet gherkins, fried rabbit. Great. And
also, I had newspaper aboard the ship. See the newspapers? These are the papers we had aboard the ship. It tells you what's going on.
What kind of newspapers were these?
This is a ship's newspaper.
Oh, okay. So they just published it themselves?
Yeah, they publish it. See all of them? Each day of the week, it comes out every day. Tells you what's going on all over the world.
Was it specific to the war? Was it like things going on in the war?
Most of what's happening home. And this is This is another one. This is the heavy ship was on.
Okay, so you were on the USS Columbus too.
Yeah, I was on
that was the heavy one after you.
That's right. After I got the small one, I went on a big one.
Okay, all right. And this was where you were sleeping.
Oh no, regular.
Oh, this is okay.
Yes,
right.
no trouble with this because this didn't go to the equator.
Okay.
I didn't go see any action in this one at all.
I see.
The war was over.
Yeah, and then you just did a lot of training exercises off of the USS.
Yeah, I was in Minnesota when the war was over. I went 1200 Massachusetts Avenue. That's right across from Harvard University. My wife was there at the time. We had a little house right across the street, and a woman had a cat, and the cat used to go to the toilet, sit on the toilet and go pee on poops. And it was like right across from the Harvard University, 1200 Massachusetts Avenue. And this is my diploma here.
Okay, great. So this
Want to look at that?
The diploma. This is from the U.S. Navy. There. Okay.
The bottom one.
Oh, there we go.
A lot of people don't save this stuff.
Yeah, this is remarkable that you have all of this here, and especially some of this old, like the newspaper.
I know.
Fantastic.
You don't see many guys saving that stuff.
So maybe talk a little bit about some of the friends you made.
Here.
In the service.
This is the Blue Jackets manual.
So
Blue Jackets, they give this to when first go in.
Yeah. So what is a Blue Jackets manual?
And they teach you everything about Navy. What you want to learn about the Navy. It tells you how to make ropes, tie ropes, and tells you who the highest commander is.
Did you use this a lot?
Nah, nobody ever did. In case you want to refer to something, maybe.
Sure.
You just see in action.
Okay. Do you want to talk about any of the friendships that you made?
No, not really, because all I kept saying is my wife. I kept looking at her all the time. When I went into that dance that time, I never know what happened to my buddy. Never know what happened to him. I can't get. Maybe I met him back at the camp, but I never knew. I seen her.
You didn't even have. You didn't make any friends in the army.
Not really. I can't picture anybody.
By yourself?
I never picture. No, as soon as I got out, I got married and had children.
Right.
Oh! I took the sanitation test. I got a high mark. I got about out of 80,000. I was about 500 on the list. So when I came back, I got my job. They called me when I was in the Navy. Now the commissioner, he was under me. Now he's the commissioner. John Doherty.
Sure. Right.
I was his boss.
I think he's retiring now.
Yeah, just now he retired. 74 years.
He's been there for a long time.
I knew him in 1960 when he got made. I became a foreman then.
When you went on your first battle, were you afraid?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, when you're 22 years old, you don't think of these things. You're not scared of nothing. When you're young, you're not scared. I mean, how can I be scared? I'm down below. I'm not fighting. I'm down below, making the ship go. Because when the ship wants more water, speeds, I had to open it. I had a big valve I had to sit on and open it up. I was in charge of water going into the boiler to make the ship run. Very important job.
Yeah.
Without me, I could screw up the ship. If the water went over, it'd be bad if it went under. So I had to sit and look at the water line. All the time while I was doing battling and not battling. And but actually seeing them fighting up there, I could hear them. Like, I don't think they ever shot a torpedo, but they shot the depth charges. They have depth charges on the back that they shoot up and explode in the water. You know?
Yeah.
Well, it's dangerous out there. The Japanese were shooting at us and from the islands, and we were shooting at them. Then the planes coming in. I mean, it was dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, I don't realize it till now.
Right. So back then it wasn't a whole lot of stress. It was just.
With the men, there's usually 10 men on in the boiler room, firemen. We didn't think nothing like that. We just drink coffee and smoke cigarettes. I mean, that's all you had to do.
Yeah.
Once in a while, we were getting dark. We would watch a movie. They give us a movie. Two ships get together. They put the screen up in between them, and we would watch a movie once in a while. That's about all for enjoyment.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah. Were there any other big? I mean, were there any other big moments that you recall, like during any battle or campaign or anything like that?
Every one was a star battle. Each island out there. I have a lot of these circled there. These are the islands I'm at, and some are battle where I do the battles.
So the Mariana Islands.
Marianas, yeah.
Right.
Saipan was one of the last ones. I was in Saipan.
What happened there?
Well, we knocked the Japanese out of there. That was one of our last ones before we went to Let It Go. But the Let It Go was the biggest one. And that was the biggest one, but I missed it by one day. One day, by coming back with the LACs back to Eniwetok.
Yeah.
One day, if I stayed there, we would have been sunk or something.
Yeah.
What destroyer were you protecting?
Pardon me?
What, you were the destroyers, right? What big ship were you protecting?
No, there's about 4 or 5 of them. They tell you, listen, you can take this. I got one. You can take this one. I got another one here.
Oh, this is the history of the USS Airborne, right? Okay.
You can keep that one. I got another one here anyhow.
So did you know when you were, you were in charge of opening up the valves and things like that, but were you aware that your ship was basically going to be
Protect.
I mean, you knew that.
Oh yeah, more or less. We knew it later. I don't know at that time. I knew it because they asked. Oh, I went in. They asked me what kind of ship I wanted. I told them I could have a small ship. They were nice to me. I said, "What, East Coast or West Coast?" Oh, I'll take the East Coast. But they gave me the West Coast anyhow. But I wanted a small ship because it's friendlier.
Yeah.
Then when I on a heavy cruiser, it's terrible. It's crowded with people, 5,000 people. That's what, like you see ships sink now out there. I think they're top heavy. All these ships that are sinking, the cruise ships, they get so many decks. I think they're really top heavy, but they don't turn over. They get people sick there all the time.
Well, how many people were on the USS?
Approximately 300.
300?
Yeah.
So you would have been able to know most of the people on the ship.
Only in my group. The fire room. Yeah.
Do you remember when the war ended? I mean, do you remember your feelings about
the
that?
ending happened when I was in the ending of one war, a Japanese war. Mm-hmm. Came first. Then that's why we were packing up the heavy cruiser to go fight in the Europe war. That was on there.
Well, how did you feel about that?
Oh, I was happy. Well, I was with your mother. We're downstairs at this here 1200. Massachusetts Avenue. My wife and I, we lived down below in an apartment, and we're looking out. We're seeing everybody out in the street yelling and yelling and yelling. We go out and we say, "What's happening? The war's over in Japan." That's when I found out. Well, I was up in Harvard. It's Cambridge up there. That's in Cambridge. The Charles River is right near there. You know anything about the Charles River?
A little bit. I haven't really spent a lot of time in Massachusetts.
So your folks are from Minnesota?
Minnesota, yeah.
So we have history from Minnesota, and her grandfather came from Canada.
Oh, is that
down there? Yeah.
So what do you feel? How did you feel when you go down to the other ship? Did you want to go to the other ship?
No, I had no choice. They put me on it. They placed me on it. They said you had to read. After a month after I got married, they sent me a notice. Report to another ship up in Rhode Island.
So how was that conversation with your new wife? I guess that probably wasn't...
No, it didn't bother me. The only thing, my wife kept coming up with me all the time. I had her coming up.
Yeah.
First I was up there for 6 months. Then when something happened to the ship, I had to come in for 6 months. There was sabotage aboard one of the ships.
Really? What happened there? What?
We had some sand putting a reduction gear on a heavy cruiser.
Did they ever find out?
As far as I know, I don't know nothing about it. All I know is he came back and he had to tear so many different plates. Plates, that's the flooring, to get down to the reduction gear. And then my wife came up for another 6 weeks. She kept coming up every time I had a little time to spare.
What ship was that?
That was my exciting part.
What ship was that they sabotaged?
Huh?
What ship was that?
That was the Columbus, the big one, the new one. That never seen battle. Oh, by the way, my commander came back. That was on my ship, a destroyer. He came back. They made him in charge of a missile ship later on. They must have plans for him when they sent him back to the States.
Yeah.
Because they made him a full command. He was a three-star captain, a commander, a destroyer. He came back, they made him a 4-star. They put him on a heavy cruiser, missile ship. But I didn't know that. But I got pictures somewhere in the missile ship that he took over.
Was he excited about going?
Well, I don't know. I don't have a conversation with the guy.
Yeah.
All I know, that I seen it in the paper.
You want coffee? Do you want coffee?
Would you like a cup of coffee or something?
Oh, sure. I'd love a
Want
cup of
sugar in
coffee.
yours?
I just take it black, please. Thank you.
Yeah, oh, it's good coffee. She has her own machine there. She's a coffee drinker.
Wonderful.
Coffee lover.
Thank you so much, Joyce.
Oh, that's all right.
So you said that as a 22-year-old man, like you were there and you didn't really feel kind of like the stress. I mean, looking back on it now, I mean, do you have any?
No.
Is your perception changed?
No, I don't realize how dangerous. I didn't never realize how dangerous I was in. Never thought about being going out there. They're after us. We're after them. I mean, you go days and days seeing water, and we had a regular seaman. I was a reserve. We had a regular seaman. Every time the water got a little rocky, he got seasick.
Is that right?
But you know what they do? People go to they go out there. They keep looking for land. They concentrate on it. I never let that get in my mind. Concentrating on water, not seeing no land for years, days and days and days. So and the water gets rough. Mm-hmm. He usually gets sick every time. He was a regular Navy man.
Huh. But it never bothered you?
I never got seasick because I never concentrated on it. I remember I should never concentrate on something like that.
When you were growing up in Brooklyn, did you ever go out on the ocean? Did you ever
never knew nothing about it. I didn't know nothing about sanitation either at the time.
Okay.
I took a test. I didn't know anything about sanitation.
So you said you didn't really know how to swim. I mean, you could jump in and
I could paddle. I could paddle. When I used to go to St. George Hotel with the group of people. I worked at Bendex, the aviation company, Marine Division. We'd have parties. Go here, go there. We used to go bowling out in Sutton Boulevard, out in Queens, even. And we used to go to St. George Pool. And I'd go with the group and their wives. I wasn't married at the time. And we used to go swimming. You heard of St. George Pool,
sure.
did you?
Yeah.
I used to go, what a beautiful pool they had. Mirrors all over. Then I jump off in the pool and we used to...
And you listen to the music, Tokyo Rose.
Oh, yeah, Tokyo, I told him about it. Tokyo Rose. We're out in the middle of the ocean. Now, the captain said, now hear this. Tokyo Rose has an announcement day. All the ships in Squadron 48 is on the bottom of the ocean. Tokyo Rose, she was a singer, gave us beautiful music. Oh, music, Glenn Miller, oh, Tommy Dorsey, beautiful music. And we got on all day long. They're making us feel happy with their music. Isn't that something?
That's great. It's really great. Did you have, so when you were, how did you communicate back with your family?
Oh, cards. Got one of them cards there. This is the one.
Oh, these are the ones that you sent home?
Yeah, this is the one.
Oh, here's one.
Wow.
This is a penny postal card. This is 1945. And we send them free. During the war, we wrote free on top. The United States Navy free.
Oh, that's great. Would you like to read one of those?
Yeah, you can read it. You want to read it?
Oh, you can read it.
This is my wife. One was my mother. Where's the other one? My mother. Oh, this is another one, my wife.
This is Darius. That's from.
You got that? Is it on a thing over there?
Oh, there's three of them. That's Mommy.
Oh, you got it, Mom?
Mom.
Yeah, you got three of them. That's my mother, father.
Oh, this is your mother. Yeah, read that.
Oh,
one.
yeah. This is from Hawaii. I never seen them. Girl, they in Hawaiian, Honolulu, Hawaiian.
Read what the card says.
Oh, I've read them before.
Yeah, but the tape recorder
Oh.
hear it. Here.
Oh, here. This one.
Yeah.
Do you want to read that one out loud? See if
Yeah, read it
Oh.
out loud.
Let's see how she's got it there. The part is cut off. Dearest
Richard,
dot, just from times to take. I can't even read them anymore. Take it.
Dearest.
Oh, must.
Oh, this is from you to Mommy.
Yeah.
Where's the one from your mother?
Oh, she called me dearest.
Yeah, but
is this one?
Had. That's
This one
had.
might be it right there. Is that it?
no, that's from my mother. Where's the one from your mom?
Where's the one from my mother? Just a few lines to say hello. I wish you were here.
You send that to
you.
Mommy.
Always, Richard. This is to Dorothy. This is my wife. She was in the civilian passing field. That was a army base out there, Fairfield, Ohio.
And that's where she was living at the time?
Yeah, she was living. Yeah.
So you wrote a lot of, I imagine you wrote a lot of postcards and letters.
Yeah, back and forth like this. And so, this is an old one. Look, this is old too. Let's see what this is. Oh, this shows you old. That's an old letter there.
And this is a letter.
It's something to me.
From you. Okay.
I don't have it anymore. Here's my name. It's engraved in Washington.
And this is at the memorial. The
memorial, yeah.
Okay.
Let me see the book. Maybe the thing's on here.
And so maybe talk a little bit about coming home and how much that meant to you.
Well, I was happy. Well, I was happy. I was happy because I'm going to get married. I think about marrying her. Then I didn't ask until I got in Canarsie. After I picked her up from Los Altos Station, I told her from West Coast. I don't know how we made phone calls. We had no cell phones them days, nothing.
Yeah.
I contacted her, and she met me in Los Altos Station in Chicago. We came home into Canarsie. This is between getting on a big ship. I asked her, "Would you like to marry me?"
On the train, you were.
She said to me, I said, "Would you like to marry me?" And she says, "Yeah, but where could we live? You live in Minnesota. You got no job. At least you got a job waiting for you, sanitation. I was on the list." Mm-hmm. So she said, "All right, I'll live here with you." So she lived with me, my father, and my mother, and that's what happened.
Huh.
She had a choice. Here's the Columbus at another time.
Okay, and this is right in here in New York City. Okay.
Yeah, and here it is, another picture of it. How big they are.
Yeah, that's an enormous ship.
Now this is the place I used to work. I used to work as a machinist in this place. See me over here? These are all my people I worked with.
This was day orders for Sunday. For Sunday.
That's a Sunday mail.
That's the day orders. What you had to do.
So general quarters, right? So that's everybody sort of at attention, right?
Yeah, right.
Secure from general quarters, mess gear, breakfast, physical drill. And the LSTs, could you just explain what an LST is?
Yeah, the LSTs, we took the LSTs back from Leyte Gulf. Mm-hmm. After they went back to Leyte Gulf, we left them there and came back to Hawaii, Honolulu.
And what is an LST?
The Atlantic craft, they're the ones that took the soldiers, carried the soldiers into the fields. Mm-hmm. Philippines, when they were empty, they had to do something with them, so we took them back. And we being a flagship, that means the big shot was on that ship, flagship. One ship of all usually makes a flagship.
Okay, great. So, are there any other stories or any other impressions or experiences that you'd like to talk about? Or
because I have some rough life. I became a barber shopper. I sang for 10 years.
You sang for 10 years. Was this after the war?
Yeah, after the war. I sang. I became an usher in church. I had a good life. Yeah. God took care of me.
Yeah.
I'm serious.